Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel, honey, and welcome back for another review on Unfaithful. Listen, this episode was really good to me, and I also feel like it was definitely giving believable. You hear what I say? So we meet this chick named Layla. And Layla has this boyfriend named West. Oops, my bad, girl. Her fiance named West, and she's been with him for about 4 years. And she's not even from America. She's from, I believe she said France or something like that. But she moved there, and it seemed like when she came to chase her dreams. But she ended up meeting him because she said she think that her speaking French kind of turned him on or whatever the case is. And so it seems like she moved back to really have a relationship with him, and it seems like she did little modeling, in my opinion, okay, because that's what she wanted to do, chase her dreams in modeling. But it don't seem like she did that because she was too preoccupied with being love bombed in this relationship. So they ended up, spending a lot of time together. They connected from really working out and stuff. So after a year of being together, they ended up getting engaged. He took her to the beach, got down on one knee, proposed to her. She said yes. All right. Well, is she wearing that ring as she sits down with Tammy? Absolutely not. Not no more. Okay. She did open up and talked about how she ended up having a miscarriage. And she says that she really wants a child. She wants to have a family. But, having that miscarriage really, of course it hurt her. Like, nobody trying to lose no baby or nothing. So she said she was wondering if it was the universe telling her that it's not the right time, or if the universe was telling her that it's not the right guy and she shouldn't be with him. And I said, oh, girl, listen, universe could be telling you that it's not him. It could be a blessing in that, right? Like I said, she no longer wears her engagement ring, and they aren't as intimate as they used to be. So this right here, they have a disconnect, and that is the reason that she came to Tammy to find out, like, girl, is he cheating? What's going on? Now, of course they got a disconnect because she went to snooping in the phone, and when she was snooping in the phone, she ended up seeing that he ended up DMing a chick named Shella. All right, whose real name is Rochella. So she over there, he over there DMing or whatever. Next thing you know, the messages went from being in the DMs to being on his phone, and he hid her number under his homeboy's name. Girl, it's getting messy. All right. When it came down to the family, I believe Tammy asked her, like, are you close with the family? And she was like, well, not really. She was like, why, they don't live here? She was like, no, they live here. Basically, he just don't bring her around. And then this was her excuse as to why she doesn't really see his family like that. She says that it's because he's really busy. And Tammy was like, girl, you really finna sit up here and believe this? You really finna let this man play in your head and have you thinking that he's too busy for you to meet the family? That makes absolutely no sense. As soon as I heard that, I started to think he not letting you meet the family because he got somebody else over there meeting the family. Like, that's the only thing that I could think of, for real, for real. Now, after they have this conversation and Tammy agrees to take this case, they decided that they was going to start tracking West to see where he been going. Well, the first day they tracked West, and West ain't do nothing. He ain't go nowhere. He went straight home, did what he need to do. It was cool. Well, the next day, honey, they catch West going into a fertility office or whatever. And when he went in by himself, but when he came out with a young woman, and that young woman ended up being Rochella. Okay. That was hella disrespectful. Like, I just think that's disrespectful as hell. Your girl done suffered a miscarriage. You ain't spending the time that you should with your girl, but you out here with somebody else, a whole nother woman, and y'all going to a fertility place. What kind of stuff is that? Like, are you trying to get her pregnant, or what is it? Like, girl, that is some messy stuff there, honey. Now, later on that night, they saw those same two individuals, okay, West and Rochelle. They linked up and they went cake tasting. First of all, they went to a venue, and it started to make me think, like, girl, are they there for a baby shower? Like, what's going on? Well, when the agent got out of the car and she went inside, you could see that they're in the back and they're eating cake. I said, oh, baby, this is a cake tasting. Is he engaged to this girl? Because that's what it was given. And come to find out, yeah, he is. He is. Okay. He is engaged to that girl. And that is so embarrassing. So why is you over here engaged to two women? One of them had a miscarriage, but you really moving forward with the other one, so much so that y'all got a cake tasting. And you trying to further your family with this girl? Like, that's messed up. and trying to, and it's like, dang, Layla, you going from being the main chick to end up being the side chick if he actually goes forward and marry this girl. Like, that's some crazy stuff. Now, once they get to the office and they sit down with Layla confused on how he got all this energy for two different women. Because now they're showing her the tea. They're showing her everything that's going on. Tammy says to her, well, he really not having all this energy for two different women. Because after y'all lost y'all child, he didn't try to go anywhere with you to figure out the issue. Not at all. And she says, he didn't go anywhere with you to sit down to try and figure out the issue and how y'all could actually start a family together. All he did with you was withdraw himself from you, and he went to somebody else and gave them all his energy, and he made the decision that this is the woman that he's going to start a family with. And that is some major key stuff. That is some major key stuff. He over there making a decision before you make that determination for yourself. He didn't even give you a chance to try and see what was going on or anything like that. Man, he don't care about you. He do not care about you at all. So Tammy tells her about her own experience, about the baggage and, the things that she had to carry after, separating from men that were not good for her. And eventually she ended up finding her husband that ended up being the best person for her at the end of the day. She tells Layla that when she met this guy, she came to, our country, didn't know nobody, and he decided to be that confidant for her, that person that she could lean on, talk to about anything and all of that. And while he was being that to her, she ended up making him her entire world. So much so that she looked to him for comfort in many ways, right? So she would go to him for everything because she ain't got no friends, and then like she really made this man her world. And then Tammy says that, for some people that could be very overwhelming. I liked where Tammy was going, but I did not like where it ended when she said that it can be really overwhelming for some people, because it did sound like to me you were trying to make it seem like him cheating is her fault. It was sounding like because he was overwhelmed with you not having any other friends or making him your world, it resulted in him going outside of the relationship and pursuing somebody else. It was just kind of how she ended it that I didn't like it, to where it sounded like she was trying to make it seem like the woman was the problem. But anywho, they made a decision to ask her, like, yo, which one you want to do? Do you want to like go and you want to confront them, or do you want to team up and confront him? Like, which one you want to do, solo confront or team up? She decided that she wants to team up with Chella, because she didn't even know if Chella knew anything about her. So that was the main thing. She wanted to know that he knew about her. And Ken, I believe that's his name, the person that works with Tammy, he made a point, like, if you don't meet up with him, like y'all don't come together and have this conversation, the only thing that's going to happen is he's going to keep telling both of y'all lies, and y'all never going to really get down to the bottom of it to see him for the true BSer that he is. If you were to confront him at once, he's going to be like, oh, she lying, whatever the case, and it's going to allow him to be able to say whatever he wants to say to somebody else. So he high key was suggesting that she should do the team up, and that's exactly what she ended up doing. Okay. Now, what they did was they scheduled a photo shoot, because they learned that Rochella is actually a photographer. So they scheduled Layla a photo shoot to take with this woman. Soon as she got in there and she shook hands with her, she says, hi, how are you? I'm Layla, and I'm also Wes's fiance. So Miss Girl Rochella was taken back, and she was like, girl, you who? You what? How can you be his fiance? Like, that's not making any sense. And she was like, yeah, I'm his fiance. I've been his girl for 4 years. So then Rochella says, you can't be with him for 4 years because I've been with him for 2. Girl, then yeah, she very well could have been with him for 4 years. It's very well that you could have got played. But Rochella didn't want to believe it, because they were supposed to be taking engagement photos the very next day. So she's shocked. She's like, he be with me all the time. When does he have time to be with you? And I feel like, yeah, he probably do be with you all the time. That's because they haven't been as intimate. She feel when it comes to Layla and Wes, she feels like they just, coexist in the same space or whatever. So because they haven't been on good terms, and he probably always creates issues for them to not be on good terms, it allows him to step outside of the home more often than not, and he can spend that time with you, so that you won't sit up there and think that he's out here doing anything. The whole time he got a whole woman somewhere. I hate it. Rochella says that she opens up and she talks about her having a miscarriage. And she says at some point, okay, at some point when Tammy Roman came in, introduced herself, they got the ladies to sit down. They allowed Layla to ask some questions to Rochella. And I think she could have asked her if she was pregnant. And she said, no, I'm not pregnant, but I was pregnant. I had a miscarriage in June. And then Layla said, that's interesting because I miscarried in April. Right. That's crazy. I was like, this is some messy stuff here. This, I don't know what this man had going on. Layla said it's interesting that both of us had a miscarriage. She says, do you think that he may have had something to do with us miscarrying? I said, oh wow, now girl, I ain't think about that. I ain't think about that. Now he probably could have had something to do with y'all having a miscarriage. I don't know, girl. He out there pretending, acting like he trying to have a family and this and that. Ain't no telling what he trying to do. Girl, that's crap. Girl, that's interesting if he was over there playing. But let's keep going. So Layla bust up. Yeah, she bust up okay, no. So after they had the full conversation, the ladies made the decision to team up together, and they gave Rochella gave Tammy and them the permission to come back to the photo shoot, the engagement photo shoot that they were going to have on the next day, so that the ladies can bust West. Okay, so they show up. Layla bust in the photo shoot. She was like, can I get in the picture too? Like, what's really going on? So West is taken back. He's shocked. He's trying to tell Layla that she has trust issues, and then gonna tell this lady that she could have just talked to him. How could she just talk to you when you could have just talked to her before you just stepped outside and started cheating on this lady? No, you could have talked to her. Now, meanwhile, he's over there trying so hard to get an understanding with Layla, and Rochella is getting pissed because she's like, how dare you sit up there and you only give answers to her and you feel like you don't owe me anything? What about all the stuff you was just saying to me on the couch before all of this happened? What about all of that? Girl, this was messy. He gonna sit up there and tell Chella, but I love her. What? So you don't love Chella? Talking about he loved Layla. You know, this the woman that I love, this the woman I still love, or whatever like that. And that's really why I'm not giving you no answers. Girl, I was like, this man is out of control. Out of control. And I'm like, girl, Miss Rochella, I'm messing her name up. But Shella, girl, he don't care about you. I do feel like at the end, when I was watching everything, I felt like Shella may go back to him because I feel like she's still holding on to she want to be married and all of that stuff. Because when they tried to tell her right out the gate what was going on, she was in such denial, and it seemed like it took a minute for her to come around to understand, like, no, he's legit cheating on you. And technically he's cheating on me, Layla, because I'm the one that's been with him the longest, yada yada yada. Because at first she was like, I don't care what you're talking about, whatever y'all had going on was what y'all had going on. He's with me now. Like, I don't want to hear it, girl. You could go ahead and go away from me with this. She didn't want to hear nothing. So I felt like, girl, I wouldn't be surprised when all of this is said and done, she would go right back to Wes. That's just what I think. But anywho, so Tammy decides she finna walk in the madness. And he says to Layla, so you decide to go to a TV show? And then Layla says, so you decided to go to another woman? Girl, I was over here clapping. Let's go, Layla, because you ain't never lied. So you decided to go to another woman, so don't worry about what it is that I decided to do. You tried to do your shit in private, and I made sure that I blast your ass in public. So what's going on? Now, Wes talks with Tammy. Tammy pulls him outside for a conversation. He keeps saying that Layla got to understand. That lady ain't got to understand the goddamn thing except for the fact that you're an F-boy. That's all that she needs to understand. And she needs to understand that she needs to pack all her stuff or pack yours. And she needs to just get up out this relationship. It ain't like you really been giving her nothing these past year or so. You've been over here flossing around and moving around with somebody else. So she might as well just figure out how she finna exit stage left and get out your way so that you could go and start a family and have a family that you felt that you need. That's all. It's really that simple. All right. And then he says it did something to him when she had that miscarriage. It really, really did something to me, when that happened. And I'm like, so you don't think it did something to her? You think and she's the one that's carrying, she was the one carrying the baby. She was the one that endured all of the feelings, the emotions, and everything that goes into a pregnancy and the loss of one. And you mean to tell me that your feelings are the only ones that matter? I feel like well, I can't say that miscarriage did not affect him in any way, but I do feel like he uses that as an excuse for him to go out and do what he want to do. I don't like that he sat up there and said that Layla could have talked to him, when if you felt the way and you were going through so much with the miscarriage, you could have sat up there and talked to Layla about it, and y'all could have got through it together. But that's not what you wanted to do, because you don't know how to handle your emotions or how to process or what to do. Your result is to not deal with it, but to get out of it and go and get something new. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to address that and you could just move forward. But it's real interesting because even when you went out there to get something new, you went and got with Rochella, and the same situation happened with the miscarriage. But you responded so differently with her than you did with your actual girlfriend. What is that about? I guess because, as he said, something about her being his piece. So I guess she made it easier for him to want to go to the fertility clinic and figure out all of this stuff. I don't know. That's just real interesting, I guess, honey. I guess. But you over here talking about some, I love her, but I love her. I still love her. I care about her. Da 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 da. But you didn't take her to the fertility clinic to find out what was going on with her, so that y'all could further y'all family, knowing that you proposed to her 4 years ago. You go and get engaged to somebody else and ready to start a family with a whole nother BIT. Make it make sense, sir. Absolutely not. So then Tammy lets Wes go in. He goes to talk to the ladies or whatever. And he says that her losing the babies broke him. This is what he's saying to Layla when he talking. You losing the babies really broke me. It broke me. I was hurt. I'm like, don't nobody give a fuck about how you felt. Now you want to tell us how you felt? You should have said someone that lady had lost their child. How the hell you think she felt when she was the one carrying it? That's crazy. Then he tells Layla, and this is so embarrassing for Chella, and it's really embarrassing for Layla as well. He tells Layla, if you would have got pregnant and that baby and kept that baby, there wouldn't even be a Chella. Girl, what? It was gonna be a Chella anyway, because that's just how you is, and you did whatever it is that you wanted to do. And Chellison over there looking and feeling dumb as fuck. Like, did he really just say that? He's been dismissing me this entire time. And I'm sure that really hurt her feelings, because when you saw them at the cake tasting, he was all up on her, touching on her, this and that, giving her all that PDA affection, this and that. And then when his girl come, it's like he don't even know who the hell Miss Chella is. Like, who is that lady? I don't know her. What's going on? Acting like he don't owe her no explanation or anything. Ain't got to tell her nothing. And then turn around and say she would have never happened if this right here would have happened. Girl, why that made me think of Martell Hope? If you would have gave me some head, then I would have never went out and cheated. Girl, what's going on? Let's keep going. Sounds stupid. Now the ladies want to move on from him. So they say, okay? And he up there trying to get Tammy to convince the ladies to listen to him. Are you crazy? Talking about they need to know that I'm in love with them both. They need to know it's possible I'm in love with them both. That ain't okay. Timmy, shut the hell up. Don't convince them of nothing. She ain't got to do that. If they don't want to be with you, they ain't trying to be with you. So because the ladies was like, I'm done, Tammy was really telling him, listen, your problem is that you should have sat up there and kept it a book and said, yo, I already got a lady at the house, you know what I'm saying? I already got somebody, but if you're trying to rock with me, you need to know what I got going on over here, and you just gonna have to accept it for what it is. And Tammy was like, there are a lot of ladies out there that will rock with you like that. They okay with you being disrespectful like that. But then Layla said, yeah, and I'm not. So basically, I'm gonna be done with your ass. Period. Do what you want to do. I'm finna be out. So because he couldn't take what the ladies were saying, Rochella and Layla, and that they were done, he decided he finna just walk off. Just going on about his business. Listen, in the conclusion, I really do believe, as I told y'all earlier, Layla is done. Chella, her facials didn't really give that she was done. It didn't give that she was done. She said she was done, but I was not believing it. Both of the ladies hugged on each other, and they did apologize to each other for anything they may have done in that moment or whatever. And it was what it was. And later on, when we got a chance to get an update from Layla, I wish we would have got one from Chella too. But we got an update from Layla, and Layla says she moved on from him and she's focused on her businesses. Okay, her stepping away from him allowed her to learn a lot about herself, and that's all that matters to her. at this time. And I was proud of Layla. Like, yes, girl, go ahead and upgrade from that man. You will go find you somebody else, at a later time. But Chella is who I wanted them to get on the line. I wanted to see if they could reach out to her just to find out where she is with old boy. And I feel like the fact that we ain't got no update made me feel like they probably still fool la la together. They may not have gotten married, but they still was over there fool la la together. Okay. But that was pretty much the episode of Unfaithful. I will say it was a pretty good episode. Y'all let me know if you caught that episode and what you thought about it. All right. That's all that I got. I'm Jamie. That's me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.